All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another month of training. This month, we're talking all about local and on-page SEO. Some of my favorite stuff. I like talking about the nerdy stuff, the technical stuff, but I hope I've done a good job of doing it in a way that is easy to understand for everybody, because I know nerdy people can start to get pretty technical, and that doesn't help. So we're gonna kind of boil it down for you today, give you some good pointers, good things that you can work on that will ultimately help your business grow, help you get better SEO, and generate more leads. That's what we're after here. So, I need to play my fancy little video here just so everybody can see it. Excited for today. By the way, we do these trainings every single month. Every month it's a different topic. It's something related to SEO or something marketing related that can help your business grow. So make sure that you're paying attention to our emails around the monthly workshops so that you can learn more and grow your business. So this month we're talking all about local SEO, on-page optimization, in particular, some of the main pieces of your website, things that you have to have in place, how your website should be structured to make Google the happiest, tricks to get some more local search traffic, optimizing your Google business profile, formerly called Google My Business, GBP profile, how to get you to show up more times in that 3-pack of results, which is what we're really after there. That's going to generate a lot of leads and a lot of phone calls for you. The importance of reviews, and a little bonus around something called time to long click. So we'll throw that in there at the end. A little bit about me. My name's Will Hankey. My business is called Window Treatment Marketing Pros. I have been doing digital marketing for 27 years now. I was what we call a generalist agency. Had clients that did, a divorce attorney and sold mattresses and all kinds of stuff. Along the way, we discovered window treatments, had a couple clients in that industry, did really well for them. And in 2017, we niched down to only working with window treatment companies across the US. We've been rated top SEO company for several years, top 50 fastest growing company here in St. Louis, where I'm at. And I'm also a mentor for something called the 7-Figure Agency. So helping agency owners like mine get more clients and help produce better services for their customers. So do these things work? Yeah, absolutely they work. When you're looking for more leads and you go to digital marketing, one of the big pieces of that, which we'll talk about today, is keyword ranking and ranking number one for phrases like that. So, there's thousands of different phrases, and we'll talk more about that as well. Ways that people can find you. It's not just that they're going to type in window treatments near me. That's not the only thing people are typing in. So we'll kind of go into that a little bit today. And I'm going to go through these exact strategies to show you how to produce some of these results. Now, if you've been on any of my workshops before, you know that we are a big fan of what we call the digital dominance method. There are 12 main pieces to doing digital marketing. And these are the 12 different things. If you're a business owner, it's like, oh my gosh, how many things can I do at once? So we just kind of boiled it down, and then we talk about different pieces of each of these throughout the year in our webinars, our workshops. Today, we're going to be talking mostly around number one and number two, your website and some local SEO stuff. So excited to have you on. If you are familiar with something called the customer journey, if you're not, you should be. Customer journey, everybody is in a different phase with your business, and you need to be communicating to them in whatever phase they happen to be in. Today, we're going to be talking mostly about the awareness in this very early on stage where people maybe don't know about your business and you need to get in front of them. And that's really what local SEO is all about. Now, I do have some free stuff I want to give away at the end. Stick around. And I'll give you some links and some different things to get some free stuff, some great resources to get you moving on your way. I don't just want to tell you a bunch of stuff and then not give you the pieces to make it happen. So we'll do that near the end here. If you do have questions, put those into the chat. We're broadcasting on a couple different platforms now, but we're monitoring the chat on all of those. So if you do have a question along the way, put it into the chat. I'll be watching that, and we'll pay attention and answer your question as we go along. All right, enough of the housekeeping. Let's talk about SEO, or search engine optimization. Now, here is an example of a search, and this is a tool that I can use, that I have in my arsenal, that I can say, okay, if somebody puts in this phrase, in this case, window treatments, which you'll see all the way in the top left, window treatments is kind of like the seed keyword. And this tool came back and said, well, there's 21,600, I can't see it, 693 variations of ways that people type in window treatments. So 21,000 different ways that somebody could come to Google and type in something that you maybe sell, right? So it's crazy. On the awning side, I think it's even worse, 38,972, almost not 39,000 different phrases that people could type in to find you. Now, the first thing you have to do when you realize, gosh, we have a lot to do to get a piece of that 20,000 or 39,000 to get some of those eyeballs, we need to start with your website. And if you remember the digital dominance method, number one is the website. It has to be the first thing. It's the foundation of everything you do. Now, when it comes to building sites, there are a lot of different platforms. There's Wix, Weebly, Squarespace, WordPress. For us, we recommend WordPress. We have found that it has the best platform, the best SEO. WordPress is also a little different than those other systems, where it gives you access to everything, all the files, the database, everything. A lot of these other services don't. They lock some of that behind a wall that you can't get to. And sometimes there's things that you need to do back there that can improve your overall SEO score. So we're WordPress fans. That's what we use. We love it specifically for SEO. Now, I did mention earlier that all of this is driven by keywords. It has to be built in such a way that keywords are in the right places, the right amount of times, not too many times where Google treats you as a spammer, or you're not sending the right signals, that kind of stuff. But there is a fine line that you can put up there around keywords. And we're going to be going through some of that today. First, we're going to start with some of the main pieces of SEO, some of the things that you need to have in place and that you could easily fix yourself, by the way. These are things that you can take care of by yourself. Sorry about that. All right. First one up is page titles. Every page on your website has some code behind the scenes. And this is maybe not something that you see when you're looking at the page. If you look at, if you use Chrome, or, well, I guess any system now, the tabs at the top, the little tabs actually have the page title in them, but most people don't pay attention to that. However, Google does pay attention to that. So it's an important piece of that. Now, the way that you can find your page title for each page is by simply going to your site, doing a right click in the white area here, the real estate that doesn't have words or something like that. Right click and do a view source or view page source. And what you'll come up with is all kinds of crazy code. Like I told you, we're going to get a little bit technical, but easy enough. Once that comes up, do a search for the word title. So on a PC, it's Control F. Do a search for the word title, and you'll find that title somewhere in there. Now, if it comes back and says not found, then that means that page doesn't have a page title at all, and you have an opportunity to add that in. So for this particular website, we've put in their number one keyword, which of course is window treatments and location. That is by far the number one thing that they want to rank for, because that is the thing that most people are going to type in. But there are lots and lots of variations of that. For your homepage, this is what you would do. I'm going to go back, because another thing you can do here is just visit one of your internal pages, maybe your product page or something like that. Right click, view source, look for the title and see what that title is. It shouldn't be the same as your homepage. It should be a title about whatever that product page is about. If that's Roman Shades, then this should say Roman Shades in Middleton, Wisconsin, for example. So each of these is important. Each page on your site should have its own unique title. Another reason that the titles are really important is because Google takes those titles and uses those in the search results. So you'll notice that the search result from Google matches the page title here. So that's why it's really important, because this also comes across as, what are people going to see if they're typing in window treatments, Middleton, Wisconsin? I want them to see those words and that be a main part of what they see. So that's how we write this page title. We could even do it the other way around. Window treatments, Middleton, WI dash incredible windows. Either way would work. But that is a great example of why that's very important. It affects how people see you on Google. Now, for WordPress, we use a tool called Rank Math. We used to use one called Yoast. They also have a Yoast SEO Pro. We use Rank Math Pro. We found that it's just better, offers some better back-end stuff from the SEO side. But there's an area in WordPress where you just plug in this information. In this case, the title, Incredible Windows dash window treatments in Middleton, WI. So for most of these platforms, they'll offer this. Even Weebly and Squarespace, there's probably somewhere in there where you can put your page title and you can control what that title is. Most of those are in there. Again, we use WordPress, so we use the Rank Math plugin specifically for this process. All right, next up, meta descriptions. Now, meta descriptions is another nerdy thing that happens behind the scenes. So while we're on our page that we did our right click on and page source, let's look for the word description. And in this case, here is the description. A meta description is typically 1 to 2 sentences. It explains what this particular page is about. So again, we're looking at the home page, so we're going to be talking at a 10,000 foot level. But if this was a meta description for our Roman Shades page, it would be much more specific about Roman Shades, right? But that's in the back end. And again, the description is very important because Google also uses it. So it matches what we put in there. So you can control what Google sees or what Google portrays to potential customers by adding in the page title and the meta description. Those two things are very important and have an influence on the amount of traffic that comes to your site. Next up is heading tags. So heading tags are created in a way where there's main headings and then there's subheadings. And the way that we do these in HTML is we do an H1 through an H6. Typically for SEO, you're only really interested in H1 and H2. Those are the main headline and then maybe a sub headline on the page. For this particular site, the H1 or the heading tag is, again, keyword related. Custom window treatments in Middleton, WI, Wisconsin. And you can see that right here in this H1 area. Custom window treatments in Middleton, Wisconsin. So that is the main heading on the site, on that page, and what we're telling Google this page is about. So we would do that differently, again, for the Roman Shades page, right? That would be Roman Shades in Middleton, Wisconsin, or something along those lines. Custom Roman Shades in Middleton, Wisconsin, something like that, right? There it is right there on the site. You can see it front and center. There's no question Google's going to see that and understand exactly what this page is all about. So you want to find your tags. Obviously, you can do the right click, view page source, and see them page by page. That's one way to do it. Another way to do this is something called the site colon trick. So what you can do is you can go to Google. Let me see if I can't pull up Google and show you guys. Let's see if you guys can see this. All right, if you're in the chat, tell me if you can see my browser window now. I'd love to know, make sure I'm showing you guys the right thing. I think you guys can see it. So, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to Google. I'm using Chrome, so I'm already there. I'm going to type in site colon and then a space and then my domain name. So let's go ahead and just use Incredible Windows, since that's what we've been using all along. Site colon incrediblewindows.com. You'll notice I don't have the slashes. I don't have the www, the https, any of that stuff in here. Just site colon Incredible Windows. And I'm actually going to delete that space. So site colon incrediblewindows.com. Basically what the site colon command does, it says, hey, Google, tell me what you know about this specific domain. Okay. So there we go. There's the results. There's obviously the home page and then some internal pages. Now I can see all of my page titles, my descriptions. I can see all of those in here. Nice and easy way to see which ones are right, which ones are wrong. So that's the site colon command or trick. All right, another tool that you can use is called Screaming Frog. I'm not going to pull this up today, but you can do a search, or you can do a search for your website in a tool called Screaming Frog, which is free, by the way. Just go to Google and type in Screaming Frog. And basically it will crawl your entire website and it will put all of your titles, all of your descriptions, everything into an Excel spreadsheet that you can use if you're into the Excel kind of data using. By the way, if you have not looked at our 6-week SEO masterclass, I'll make sure to share that near the end, a link to that. We did this class, 6 hours worth of SEO work specifically for window treatment companies, and we're giving it away absolutely free. So I go into more detail on Screaming Frog in that course. And we'll share that near the end here so you can grab that. But Screaming Frog is a great tool to kind of crawl your site and get all that data into a format that you might be able to use a little bit better. All right, let's talk about website layout. So I've kind of mentioned this already when it comes to heading tags and different pages and different titles, but how do these pages actually work together? So this is how we structure a website. Homepage obviously is your homepage, right? And then we've got what we call silo pages or top level pages. And these are typically your main navigation areas, your product page, your service area page, those kinds of things. And then under that, of course, we've got child silo pages and then subchilds. But for the most part, we're hanging out here in the blue and the green when we build websites for our clients. So here's an example, Window Expressions. These guys have a great website, and you'll see obviously homepage is their homepage, but then we've got their top area, which is the main area that we're going to build those silo pages. And then from there, we may even add in some child silo pages. For example, if I click on the service areas, you'll see now we've got all these different service areas inside of there, which would be considered the child silo pages. So each of those pages are under service areas, which is under the home page. So hopefully that kind of makes sense for how you do these different pages. Here's another example of a child silo page. This is one of those service area pages in particular, and how those kind of look. And they live under the service areas as a silo page. Next up, keywords. So you need to know your keywords, right? I've already mentioned that there's around 21,000 of them for the window treatment industry, 39,000 that tool came up with for awnings. So how do we start finding these different keywords? It's a lot of work to try to know what they are. You can't just guess, right? You could probably guess 20 or 30 of them, but you're not going to guess 30,000 of them. So a couple different ways that you can go about doing this. One way you can do it is to use the Google Keyword Planner. This is a free tool from the Google Ads platform. You do not have to be running ads to use this tool. You can get in there, you do have to set up an account, of Google Ads account, but you don't have to actually run any ads to use this tool. So you can get in there, give it some different main level keywords, and it will start spitting out all kinds of other ways that you can mix words together that people are probably looking for your services. Google Keyword Planner, just go to Google and type in Google Keyword Planner and it'll come up. AnswerThePublic.com is another great tool. This is really cool because you plug in a phrase such as Roman shades, and it will tell you basically what people are asking around Roman shades. Do they have Roman shades in blue? Do Roman shades extend 20 feet? I don't know, whatever the phrases are. There are all kinds of really cool things that you can find in Answer the Public. And I'm pretty sure this is still a free service that you can use to get some really good insights, some great ideas for content, things like that. So answerthepublic.com, another great tool. Google Trends. This is trends.google.com. This is a great tool where you can start to plug in, let's say, window treatments like I did here. Now, if we were to plug in two phrases, let's say we put in window treatments and one that we use a lot in the industry, window coverings, and we'll find out that a lot less people are saying window coverings. So that's important. If you're working on your website and being in the industry, you probably say window coverings a lot because that's kind of how we say things. However, consumers are more likely to use window treatments when doing searches on Google. So this is a great tool that you can use to find some of those differences and see what are the best ways. The really cool thing about Google Trends is you can actually drill this down. So you can see where it says United States over here. You can drop that down and say, show me these two searches only in Texas, the data from people doing those searches specifically in that area. So there's some really cool things you can do in here. Obviously compare different keywords, things like that. So that's trends.google.com. Now, when it comes to keywords, that tool that I showed you, I pulled in the top 81 keywords for the window treatment industry and put that on a website that you can grab absolutely free. There's no opt-in. You don't have to give me your email, anything like that. WTmarketingpros.com/keywords. You can go there and download that entire list for absolutely nothing. So grab that link and go grab those keywords because that will get you on your way and save you some time on that keyword research as well. All right, Google Business Profile. So this used to be called Google My Business, as you see on the left there. And that was the way it was for a long time. However, within the last year or so, Google started calling it Google Business Profile or GBP. A lot of guys in the industry still say GMB just because it was that way for so long. But when we go to do some sort of a search on the web, we see the map and we see usually 3 listings, what we call pins. We also call this the 3-pack or the snack pack. 71% of clicks go to those 3 results or the 1 or second organic result below it. 71% of the clicks are right there. If you're not in that area, you're missing 7 out of 10 eyeballs, right? So you definitely need to be listed in that area. The Google My Business, sorry, I already did it. Google Business Profile by far is the number one platform, I guess, that generates leads for our clients. It is that important, even more than SEO and your website. Now, those are important pieces of the recipe to get into the 3-pack. So what do these results have in common? There's a couple things, and I've done an entire training workshop specifically on Google Business Profile. So you can see that in our WTmarketingpros.com/training is on that page there. But these results, they have a claimed and verified map listing, no spam. So you have to put your real business name in there. So you can't put ABC Blinds. That's the name of my company, ABC Blinds, but I can't put in here ABC Blinds, shades and shutters and window treatments near Memphis, right? I couldn't put that. That is not the actual business title. So they would actually kick me out or suspend my listing if I did that. So no spam in the company name there. Lots of online reviews. I hate that one is just 1, 2, 3, 4 words, but maybe the most important 4 words on this page. You have to have a lot of reviews, and you have to be consistently asking your customers for reviews. It is one of the determining factors of whether you're going to show up in that 3-pack in the first place. Keyword in the title tags or some variation. Obviously, that works if that's your business name, and definitely keywords and title tags on your website because they're looking at that as part of this as well. Lots of citations with a consistent reference of NAP, name, address, phone. Those things always need to match across the web. And again, that is on my workshop. I go into a lot more detail on this particular thing, especially around the citations, which are mentions of your business around the web. And then lastly, a solid link profile. So links from other websites pointing back to yours. Google counts those as votes for your business. Backlinks is a very important piece of your overall strategy as well. Now, make sure that you update everything when you go into to updating some of these things. Typically, what you can do is just do a search for your business name in here, and it will give you these little icons across the top. If you're the owner and it recognizes you, you can click on Edit Profile from there. You can get some more detailed information. Make sure that you're filling all of this out. Description, choose as many categories as they'll let you. That makes sense. Don't put yourself in there as a pool builder if you're not a pool builder. But there are some different categories that might make sense. So play around with that and make sure you get in there. Opening date, make sure you put in your hours. All of those kinds of things need to be filled in as much as possible. That will definitely help you get seen more often. So go through that process. Again, I definitely recommend checking out the workshop that I did specifically on Google Business Profile. Now, I did mention citations earlier. Citations are basically mentions of your business around the web. There are a lot of these citation type websites that you can use. Probably the most popular is Facebook, right? Your Facebook page lets you put a link to your website. That's an example. Obviously, your Yelp profile, your Bing profile. There are a lot of these sites. I think currently we do around 225, 250 different sites for our clients that we can submit these to. And by the way, this graphic, some of these have probably gone away by now and some others have been added. They're always changing. And that's really another piece of this is as the new citation sites come up, that you're getting added to those. One thing that's not mentioned here that I should probably add in is americasbestwindowtreatments.com. That's a site that we built and put up, and people are getting reviews there and they're getting citation. They're getting counted as a citation there. So if your business is not listed on America's Best Window Treatments, go do it. It's free. Go get that set up for sure. When it comes to citations, there's a couple different tools that are out there. These are the big 4. Of these, Yext is probably the most popular or the most well-known, I should say. We personally use Bright Local for all of our clients. And one of the really cool things I like about Bright Local is that we can build this grid. Here's a client that we have in Maui, and we can actually put in some sort of a phrase, let's say window treatments or window treatments Maui, and it will actually show us where you land in the Google 3-pack in all of these different areas. And then we can stretch this out, make it bigger, make it wider. Obviously, we don't really need to go north here because we don't really care about the ocean. Although if somebody's out there on a boat and they decide that they need to find window treatments and they do a search, our client will come up for one. So really cool tool Bright Local gives this, and we do this for all of our clients as well. Love this tool. So it really starts to boil down where you're ranking in a particular area and what you can do to improve that. All right, last thing I think I'm going to speak on today is reviews. Reviews are very important for your business. The more reviews you have, the more chances you're going to have to show up in this 3-pack. Now, in this example, we've got, I need to move over here, Prescott window coverings with 51 reviews. Oh, here, I can swing that in. There we go. Made in the Shade Yavapai with 24 reviews, and Blind Brothers Arizona 162 reviews. So, you know, if you're wanting to do window treatments in the Prescott, Arizona area, that's what you're up against. At a minimum, you need to get more than 24, which is the Made in the Shade location, to, you know, kind of start being in that mix. But that's just one piece of it. Now, one thing that is interesting here is Prescott Window Coverings is one of our clients. They have 51 reviews, and there's these other guys that are 2 down, Blind Brothers Arizona, that have 3 times the number of reviews, but they're not in the first position. So this, even though reviews is a big piece of this, it's not the only piece, right? We still need citations, and we still need a site that's SEO optimized. And because we put all 3 of those things in play, that's why our client shows up ahead of somebody else that has more reviews. So I don't want you to think just get more reviews and you'll get higher in the Google business profile. It's one of the 3 stool legs, right? It's one of the legs on the stool. All 3 have to be in working order, or you're going to fall over, right? One thing you can do is grab a list of clients that you've done work for, customers that you've done work for, let's say in the last 6 months, and reach out to them. Just shoot them an email and say, hey, we're a small business. We need your help. You know, that's a great, easy way to kind of get that piece started. We have some tools for that I'll talk about here in a minute. Another thing that we do is every one of our clients gets business cards, and we just make these simple little business cards for them and send these to our clients and say, hey, hand these out at every job that you're finished. And people know what to do with a QR code. Mrs. Jones, while she's standing there in her dining room, can say, I just love the new draperies you put up. Oh, Mrs. Jones, would you mind shooting this QR code and leaving us a review? That works phenomenally. So building something like this works fantastic as well. So here's one thing you can do. I talked about the list of people that you can go back, let's say your last 6 months worth of customers, grab that list, plug them into a system. Now we recommend Lead Boomerang. That's a system that we've built specifically for everything related to marketing your business online. Inside of Lead Boomerang, there's an area for send a review request. You can click on that, and then you can put in some sort of a message that looks like this. Thanks for choosing our company. We're excited to be celebrating 50 years in this case. Below is an easy way for you to let my staff know how we did. It's super simple, super easy. Add a link there or a 5 stars or something like that. And you'll be surprised how fast people will click on those and leave a review. Now, the one big thing here about everything that I talked about today really is consistency. You have to be consistent. I did a video on this late last week around a marketing truth, and that truth is consistency is key. You can't think, gosh, you know, the phone's not ringing, I better go do some work on my website, and think that will generate phone calls immediately. That's not the way things work. What do they say about planting trees? The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. Second best time to plant a tree is today, right? Get started today with everything you can do and add up that consistency so that when those down times come, you know, you've already got a lot of pieces in place. But consistency, very, very important in this industry. And overall doing things on your site and off your site very consistently. So, all right. So we talked today about SEO structure. We talked about local dominance, things that you can do in your on your website, on other websites, on other platforms, all to increase your amount of eyeballs that people see, that people can see your business. This is all a piece of the digital dominance method. For the most part, we hung out in number 1 there at the top, maybe dabbled a little bit in number 2 as well, to do some offsite related stuff. Don't forget to check out the wtmarketingpros.com/training. That's all the workshops that I've done. There's a lot of good stuff out there. I don't know why that keeps going backwards on me. All right, let me zip back up here. Customer journey. We kind of talked about the customer journey. Mostly today, we hung around way in the front on the left there in awareness and people being able to see you and getting into those conversations. That's where we hung out today. All right. Questions and answers. Are there any questions in the chat? I didn't do a very good job of looking at the chat while we were going. All right. How do I know if my marketing company is doing local SEO? So, good question. I think one of the things you can do is get a tool like Bright Local. And that tool will help you monitor the overall health of your business and what's going on at a local level. It's a fantastic tool for local marketing and seeing what's working, what's not working. Back to that grid that I showed you, plug in some keywords there and see where are you. And it will also give you a history of where you were. So, the grid might be all red squares or red dots, but as the months go on, they might turn yellow and they should turn green. That's a long process. But if that process is happening, that's one great, easy way to know that your company is doing local SEO. Another easy one that I see a lot that people are calling us because their phone isn't ringing. And when I go look at their website, I can't tell you how many times a beautiful website that has no mention of their location, or maybe it's their location from 2/3 of the way down the page is the first time they mention the location that they're in. So definitely very important to make sure from a keyword standpoint that your heading tags, your title tags have location. On your product pages, they need to have product and location. So top quality Roman shades in Cincinnati, that kind of thing. Very, very important to make sure that you've done correctly. And that's something you can check. I would use the Screaming Frog tool to check and make sure, crawl your website once a month and make sure that all of those are being updated. All right. Another question. How often should I update my website's content for SEO purposes? So great question. Another question that a lot of people think the answer to is the more times I can log into my website and change some stuff, the more Google will love me. That's not true. It's probably the opposite, actually. Build a site that has great content on every page and then add to it. Again, add to it as often as you can, but only add to it if the content is good, right? Don't just think that you can go in there and add a little fluff every week, 100-word blog about something you did. It needs to be thought out. It needs to be good content. It needs to be keyword-focused content. The answer to the question is as often as you can. At a minimum, let's call it once a month. Go in and add a blog to your website. If you can do more than that, fantastic. That's really good. But it needs to be good quality content that, quite honestly, solves a problem that somebody is probably online searching for. This is where a tool like Answer the Public comes in, where you can actually see what people are typing in, what people are looking for. It's a great way to get blog ideas and new content topics to find. So tough answer there, but it's as often as you can, which is not always easy when you're running a business. That's probably why marketing companies like ours exist, to help you with some of those things that you know need to be done, but you're busy running a business and can't do. So, all right. I don't see any other questions here. Oh, here we go. I got to move this down to see what that says. How can I improve my local search rankings if I have multiple business locations? Okay, good question. So multiple business locations, physical locations, I'm assuming, means multiple Google business profile accounts or profiles. You definitely need to have a separate profile for each location. And then on your website, you would build a locations page at the what did we call that top navigation? One of those top pages needs to be locations, and then the child page underneath that needs to be each location have its own page. So that would help. And then in your Google business profile, when it asks you for a link to your site, you would link to that individual location page in that system. So that would be a great way to really get started with that. Obviously, back to Bright Local, plug in your location and your keywords. In this case, you have 2 locations, and then you might end up having to pay a little bit to Bright Local to use that, but you can start to get those grid overlays for each location and each set of keywords. So very possible. We have a lot of clients that have multiple locations, and ranking differently for each different area is important. All right. I don't see anything else. Oh, there's another one. I don't know why they're not showing up in my chat, but I see it on the screen here. How does mobile friendliness impact my SEO? Mobile friendliness, obviously very important. It's probably been 4, 5, 6 years now where Google actually separated their index into 2 separate indexes. So if you do a search for a business on a desktop, and then you do that same search on your phone, you'll probably end up with different results. And the reason is you're using 2 different Google indexes, I guess, or indices that you are looking at. So if your website is not mobile friendly, which is a fairly small number of websites nowadays, I don't run into sites too often that are not what we call responsive. But if your site is not mobile friendly, they won't show your result as one of the 10 listed when somebody does a search on mobile phones. The problem with that is 60 to 70% of all searches are done on mobile phones now. So that means 6 to 7 out of 10 eyeballs you're not getting in front of. So mobile friendliness, hugely important. There is a tool in Google. You can just go to Google and type in mobile friendliness test or tool. And there's plenty of free ones out there. You plug your domain name and it'll tell you, yes, this is a mobile friendly site. No, it is not. If yes, here are some things you can fix, or even if no, here are the things that you can fix to make it even better. So, all right, very good. Well, I've enjoyed the workshop today. I hope that you've got some great content out of this. I do appreciate you spending some time with me today. A couple things. If you want some free stuff, I do have my book here. Let me grab it. Triple Your Window Treatment and Awning Leads. I've got a whole box of these sitting here. If you want one, I'll send you one absolutely free. Just go to wtmarketingpros.com/book. You can shoot the QR code, plug in your mailing address, and I'll drop one in the mail this week to you for sure. I did mention the free keywords. That's absolutely free. wtmarketingpros.com/keywords. You can go there. Obviously, the keyword list, you're going to want to add your city to each of those, and maybe even multiple municipalities around you, so that list of 81 keywords could easily turn into 500 or 600, with a little bit of work. Lastly, if you want to talk more with me about your SEO strategy, what you're doing now, how maybe we can help you improve, if you're a good fit for us, I'd love to have that conversation and learn a little bit more about your business. You can shoot that QR code there. You can go to wtmarketingpros.com/strategy, grab a time on my calendar, and I would love the opportunity just to learn about what you're up to, what's worked well for you, what hasn't worked well, and see if there's a way that we can work together to get you more leads. Thank you so much for your time today. Here are the social networks that we're on. The one I don't see here is YouTube. We do a lot of YouTube stuff. So if you are more of a video related learner, jump over there on YouTube as well. And you'll find us, WT Marketing Pros, easy to find. But any of these platforms, we're always putting out a lot of information, a lot of resources for you. If there's anything I can help you with, please reach out. Would love the opportunity to help you out. Hope you have a great day, and we'll see you guys next month for next month's webinar. Take care.